Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Good to see you. What is going It'll be fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Um, Day 43 of The Witcher, man. We're pushing through. We're pushing through. So, more Blood and Wine DLC. We'll get to the,
Now that we're friends
Super
again,
Donut.
is it okay if I
What's
pet
up,
you?
buddy?
Super Donut 211 just resubscribed
There
for
we
2
go.
months. Good morning.
There we go. I had some weird stuff going on yesterday with my text-to-speech not working. It was odd. Yo, good morning, buddy. Thank you very much, my friend. What's up, dude? How was your weekend, man? My dude, the Super Donut. What's up, man? Thank you very much, buddy, for the support. Incredible. Much appreciated. Yeah, so we'll keep pressing in the DLC. We're gonna keep getting all the secondary quests, the Witcher contracts, treasure hunting stuff done, and then we'll push main quest. And as soon as we finish up the Blood and Wine DLC, we will be finished with The Witcher 3, and we will move on to some Cult of the Lamb. And we'll have some Twitch integration. We'll get the community involved. People will be able to become followers of the cult within the game, and it'll be a good time. Yeah, so that's kind of the play, and that's what we'll do before we hit Scaretober. The trip was great, buddy. Trip was great. Great. Thanks for asking. Yeah, good time. You know, had like a week off to go see my family, then came back for 3 days, and then went and spent another 3 days off to go see the wife's side of the family, and that was like summer vacation kind of all together right there. It was good. Weird having that amount of time off. Any amount of time off is kind of odd for me because, I'm usually streaming 7 days a week, but it was good. We needed it, just as a family to chill out, hang out together, and relax a little bit. It was a good time, man. Thanks for asking. It was really, really good. Your weekend was good. I'm glad, man. I'm glad. Let's do what we do. Let's get over here into our gaming news segment, okay? Is this... Okay. Do what we do. The drive was explosion. The drive was okay. The drive going, you mean the drive, the long drive. So yeah, we had like about a 10-hour drive for the week that I was away before the past weekend. Let's do what we do. Dude, it's right over my face. Oh, dude, that was great. That was perfect. Nice, dude. Wick, what's up, buddy? My dude. Um, the drive was fine. We've done much longer ones. It was still lengthy, like 10 hours. It's a chunk, but felt like the drive there was not quite as bad as the drive back for some reason. Sorry. Woo! All right, dude, that felt good. But I mean, grand scheme of things, the drives were pretty good, man. Yeah, not bad at all. Just tiring, That's the main thing about doing those long drives for me is like 10-hour drive. Anything beyond like 6-7 hours just kind of really takes its toll, man. I'm just kind of like spent afterwards. And along with any kind of travel in general, just not, being at your own house, being able to sleep in your own bed, just kind of ends up getting exhausting, So, but all in all, great vacations and the travel itself went really well. So can't complain, man. Can't complain. Thanks for asking. This is again, I'll go ahead and throw this out here at the beginning of the stream. And that'll go after the gaming news searches. There is the, I meant to do this yesterday. If we have a short news segment today, I might do this online. We'll see. Or on stream. You can, in preparation of, we've read this through a previous news segment. In preparation of Hogwarts Legacy, WB has this like kind of online questionnaire setup that allows you to go in, set up some accounts for in anticipation of Hogwarts Legacy. I think it's like a WB account and a Harry Potter fan club account. You link those together, and then you're able to like do a questionnaire. It puts you in whatever Hogwarts house that it puts you in one of the Hogwarts houses, and then you also you get like a Patronus. You're able. Once you do it, you get a cosmetic, this beat skull mask to wear in game once the game releases, and you also get to create your wand and everything. The questionnaire is bad. I know. Yeah. Did you already do it, Tinwin? Sight did it yesterday. Yeah, the questionnaire is bad. I know. It's very, very meh. It's not very deep. And the big thing for people right now is like, are they going to allow you to either redo the questionnaire or alter what the questionnaire gives you as far as what house you get, the Patronus you get, things like that, right? Oh, there's a lot of people getting Hufflepuff. That's the same thing that Syed got. That's the same thing that Syed. Cool. Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah. How are you, buddy? Good morning. Heard your wife drives and you just ride shotgun. We both drive, just dependent. Yeah. She's dude. The wife can hold her own on doing some long drives. I kid you not. Yeah. I'm not going to deny that. But the wife didn't go with us on the long one. What's up, Kayla? How are you, my friend? What's up? You haven't gotten sick from the bad camping experience yet, have you? I'm hoping you're not going to get sick. So, again, just bringing this up in case people want to take a look at it, check it out and stuff. We've got the Cyberpunk stuff from Tinwin yesterday. Thanks, buddy. We're going to take a look at this. Let's go ahead and see what we can find within our search, though, for the gaming news, okay? I think shotgun. Oh, good, Kayla. Right on. You guys. Jesus. Oh, man. You guys are wild. All right. So Ubisoft set to announce several new Assassin's Creed games because look, this is the thing with Ubisoft right now. I keep saying this. Seems like all Ubisoft can do right now is like pump out their regular titles. They have a hard time right now doing anything new. That's not that seems to be the trend for a few of the more notable AAA studios, but Ubisoft for sure. Ubisoft has a hard time right now, and as of late, really coming up with new games. They've canceled a lot of new games, and they've delayed a lot of new titles. It seems like the only thing they can really pump out on the regular is like Far Cry and Assassin's Creed games for the most part. Yo, Mamzelle, what's up? Yeah, Tinwin. Well, and I think that's why Ubisoft has kind of, stated that the new Assassin's Creed. It's supposed to be called Mirage, I think. The one that's coming out next, they are trying to get back to basics with it. That's what they're saying, right? So they definitely strayed away from what Assassin's Creed was originally over the last few iterations. I haven't tried them, but just because I'm familiar with gameplay and stuff to an extent, I understand that. And that's what they've stated is what they're trying to do. Oh, wait. You know, yeah. The annals. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Mamzelle, I'm sorry. That sucks. That sucks. We'll pull both of these up for now, and we'll put them next to each other. We'll read both those and see if there's any differing news between both of these articles, but both are regarding the Assassin's Creed announcements. Look, we're going to get even more. The Ubisoft Forward showcase is happening on the 10th, and we're going to watch that. The plan is for us to watch that anyway, so we're talking like 3 days from now. So, but for now, we'll just ride off of whatever we can find within these articles that we're getting, okay? Amazon Games boss thinks gaming could end up as a what? Monopoly? I'm not going to dive into that. I mean, gaming is very lucrative if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, prepare to fail. You guys, dude. After endless delays and empty words, Dispatch Games is seemingly dead. We'll read that. We've already talked about this. Facebook gaming app to be shuttered on October 28th. So October 28th, Facebook gaming is dead. All right. Sorry, Wick. Sorry, buddy. I know. That hurts you a little bit. I know. Yes, no. Can studios be bought out by bigger ones? Yes. Can't studios stop indies? And as things currently are, can't bigger studios stop indies? Wait, what? I mean, bigger studios can't stop indies. Is that what you're talking about? And were you in? Is this in reference to the what I was talking about with um, gaming ending up as a monopoly or whatever? Is that what you're talking about? Wick. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, Timwin. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, buddy. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Yeah, yep, yep. I think what we're starting to see though is like, you know, a lot of these, let's call them juggernauts. You know, a monopoly is yeah. I mean, it's whenever you're talking about all these acquisitions that are happening, and you talk about like Microsoft buying out Activision Blizzard, you're really treading upon that kind of monopoly status, right? I mean, there are absolutely these massive, massive corporations, and the more that they devour and, soak up within the industry, the more they embark upon that monopoly status. But you're right. The fact that indie developers continue to bring us fantastic titles is going to negate the monopoly, but there's always going to be these juggernauts. I think the thing that we're starting to notice, though, is that like the larger corporations, quite more often than not, I would say, we're starting to see to where they lose this aptitude for being able to create consistent, high quality content. At least that's what I'm starting to notice. And it makes it to where people are less interested in, being involved in supporting those companies and things like that. So, to an extent, anyways, sometimes it's inevitable that they're going to be supported in one way or another. But as far as the monopoly is concerned, like one entity having an absolute like stranglehold on the entire industry, I don't know that I ever see that necessarily happening. But thank God for indie devs, for sure. We've already talked about a lot of this Tencent stuff. Yeah, Ubisoft shares slide after Tencent increased the stake in them. Ubisoft's one of those large devs that we've been watching since the beginning of the year that was rumored to be, if there was another big gaming dev to sell, the rumor was that it could possibly be Ubisoft, EA, or Square Enix. We've seen Square Enix sell off stuff already. We've seen Ubisoft sell stakes and clean up shop. There's I don't know, but here's Tencent coming in to buy even more stock, man, in studios. So we'll see what's up there. Oh, yeah, agreed, Tinwin. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think that, again, I don't necessarily think that Microsoft is a monopoly in the gaming industry, anyways. They are definitely a juggernaut, a very, very large competing, but I don't know that they have the monopoly status yet. Play the raid horn. I got you. You need it? You need the raid horn right now? Is that what's up? Wake everybody up? I got you. There you go. Wake up. Wake up, everybody. Do we need that? No, dude, I'm not making that a sound effect. There's no way. There is no way, dude. I couldn't deal with that. I couldn't deal with it. I haven't slept yet. Yeah, Super Donut, did you did you work last night?
Hey, shut your pie hole, buddy.
Sag, what's up, dude? The future of NFTs in games involves labor abuse. Well, I mean, you talk about NFTs, you talk about, play to earn. That's the big concern behind like play to earn and stuff like that, is that it's not actually, I mean, I don't even refer to those as games. I refer to those as pieces of software that are game-like pieces of software. Play to earn is built around a mechanic that actually takes quite often the fun out of the game and turns it into a job for people. So the fact that labor abuse comes along with these monetary schemes within gaming, that's absolutely a fact, you know? Went to the gym with my boys. Got real yoked up, bro. Real dieseled. Nice. I need to work out. I probably won't, though. I'll probably just eat food. Dude, we had breakfast for dinner last night. I ate like 2 helpings of eggs, a couple of pancakes, and then I passed out on the couch for like 2.5 hours. Yeah, exactly, Kayla. Exactly. I ate so much food that I just passed out. Yeah, I love breakfast for dinner. Yeah. Yeah. Is this actually like video games or is this? Yeah. Okay, we'll read about that. Ubisoft acquires 700 plus games in game library, including new upcoming titles from Metaba and Fulcrum Publishing. I'm not even familiar with that. Okay, we'll read about it though. Let's get familiar. Breakfast for breakfast. Nah. Yeah. I eat breakfast for every meal. I love breakfast. Give me some corned beef hash, some biscuits and gravy, you know, some bacon. Uh dude, eggs, of course. Eggs. Some smoked salmon eggs Benedict. Woo! Baby, we're in business. We've already talked about the PS Plus free games for September. I'm not going to dive into that. We've already got the 10-cent Ubisoft stuff up. Take a look at this. I think we already know about this, but let's see if there's anything new. Upcoming Switch games and accessories. Rockstar Games update seemingly teases end of GTA 5. All right. Torchlight Infinite playtest now available on Steam. Still Rising review. Viva la Revolution. Let's see what's going on there. What is this? Yeah, we're not gonna dive into gaming furniture. CDPR working on arcade games. Okay, let's put this back here with our Cyberpunk news. All right. Perfect Dark remake, what we know so far. Take a look at that. Let's go ahead and pivot here. Yep, we got it. Games inbox. Do you still want the Witcher 4 video game? Depends on Depends on what it feels like when it's released. I'm not going to dive into that, but I mean, ultimately, as far as we love The Witcher, right?
No.
But they need to do a good job on the release of that game. Size, what's up?
He tried it.
I'm not going to dive in. D23 Disney Expo 8 Marvel and Star Wars Gaming reveals. Look, we've got the Disney and Marvel showcase happening in 2 days. So we're going to get a good look at what's coming from Disney and Marvel whenever that comes out. Now, the PlayStation showcase and Disney Marvel showcase happen at the same exact time. We're going to watch PlayStation. But we'll recap. We'll watch the VOD of the Disney and Marvel afterwards, okay? Nothing much. Cool, man. Rivet Wars returns to Kickstarter. Let's take a look at that. New Xbox Game Pass titles for console, PC, and cloud. Let's see if there's anything new in that. Breath of the Wild 2 news teased. See if there's anything worth looking at in that. I mean, this is really what they were talking about. That article we saw before where we were talking about monopolies and everything. Amazon Games boss sees even more industry consolidation on the horizon. Really? Thanks, Captain Obvious. I mean, who doesn't? You know what I mean? That's the game that the industry plays. It's not just the gaming industry. That's business as a whole. It's acquisitions, right? It's kind of seeing where you can acquire other businesses to make your business bigger and stronger. That's the way of the world. It is what it is. But like Tim Wynn and I were talking about, thank God for indie devs. We love indie devs, man. And they are really what are the foundation of the gaming industry that has really kept, to a great extent, the high quality content coming to us for years and years, you know? Not that there aren't still good AAA games, but on the constant, indie devs bring us really, really good content. Gizmo release date delayed for Multiverses. Mogwai. Dude, I haven't seen Gremlins in forever, but I loved it whenever Gizmo got wet and started popping all those little balls out and turning into gremlins and stuff. That was some cool stuff, man. Yeah, we read about this already. Yo, word. What's up, buddy? Let's see with this. We got quite a few articles. Let's go with this for now. Perfect Dark remake. What we know so far. Gaming fans have received fresh insight into the Perfect Dark remake announced in 2020 since Xbox head Matt Booty spoke about the development of the game recently. I love saying his name. Only 24 slots left to join the world's most exclusive gaming community, blah, blah, blah. Matt said in an interview with PAX West that the development of games like Perfect Dark have to be done very carefully, and fans agree. However, gaming fans also lament the amount of time it takes for complex games to be developed by large companies like Xbox. With the name of Perfect Dark coming up in an interview after so many months since its announcements, fans are curious more than ever about this remake, which Xbox has kept so secretive. A vision from 2018. A Perfect Dark remake for Xbox Series X was first conceived in 2018 and announced in 2020, with the Microsoft development team leading the way. However, since then, there had not been much talk about its progress and information is scarce. I'm good, buddy. Thanks for asking. I'm great. How are you, man? How are you? Now finally, the head himself has mentioned the name of the famous remake again, and in fact has leaked some insight that fans are rejoicing at. World building. New users are likely to wonder at why Perfect Dark has such a solid gaming fan base when you explore the addictive GUI, graphical user interface, imposed upon a secret agent thriller set in near future with the charismatic protagonist Joanna Dark leading the way. The secret behind this impatience for a remake will start to make more sense. With realistic political warfare planted against a world crumbling with ecological disasters, this is definitely a game of its kind. The original Perfect Dark game was launched in 2000, and its prequel, Perfect Dark Zero, came to existence 5 years later on Xbox 360. Oh, you played them both sides, right? Are you pretty hyped about the remake or the new one? The new one coming? And since then, gaming fans have been toiling in eternal wait. Yeah, you psyched about the remake? On mentioning Perfect Dark, Matt Booty spent more time talking about dynamics of AAA game creation rather than the specifics of Perfect Dark gameplay or release. Release date. Originally, gaming fans had an expectation that Xbox and Bethesda launch would be the time when all the waiting comes to an end. However, at present, that idea seems more and more like an unbelievable lottery dream. Matt Booty did mention that the partnering was not a result of some big problem having occurred, rather than it was a logical and strategic choice. Fans are interpreting the statement in a variety of ways. We can draw a relative prediction from these recent developments about the release date of Perfect Dark. Since the initiative started out in 2018, we can expect a release, if everything is indeed going as well as we would like to believe, by 2023 or 2024. So, I mean, we're talking pretty wide range of date there. Matt Booty. Yeah. Matt Booty. Good old Matt Booty. Oh, for real, Tinwin? The booty! Gotta loot that booty. Pirates, you know. Through a webcam overlay, but I feel like it's a bit too much. Oh, yeah? You want to share it with me in Discord or something? Let me see what you're working on. Or like DM me or something. You don't have to post it in like a channel. I'm interested. Gamer, what's up, broski? Post it in the art. Oh, sick. Okay, dude. Let's see. Oh, that's cool, man. Right on. That's cool. Nice, man. I like it, dude. That's cool. The only thing I noticed is that, like, if somebody was wanting to use it, like, up here where my camera is right now, it might potentially make it to where the top of it would get cut off or something. Want to make it blink? Oh, that'd be really neat. That's for later Donut to do. That's really neat, though. It's really cool. I like it, man. It's really cool. Good job. Good job, man. All right. Booty. Yeah. Who doesn't love loot? Looting the booties. Yes. Oh. Oh, okay. Right on, gamer. Yeah. Man, that's one of those games that I have yet to play that I really, really want to play. Yeah, absolutely. It's very, very highly rated. It's very renowned for being a great experience. Story, yeah. Rivet Wars returns to Kickstarter. Rivet Wars Good luck on that, by the way, gamer. Yeah. Yo, thanks, Super. Hey, man, again, thank you so much for the support, man, the resub and everything. Incredible, buddy. Thank you very much. Get some good rest, man. We'll see you later, okay? Thank you very much, buddy. Rivet Wars Revival is officially underway as Steamforged has announced a new Kickstarter for the popular World War I chibi-style miniatures battle game. After announcing that it had acquired the IP rights for the long-dormant tabletop game, Steamforged has launched the Kickstarter for Rivet Wars Unloaded, which adds a brand new faction to the game and provides newcomers with a perfect chance to hop into the game. The Kickstarter will fund the production of new updated versions of Rivet Wars and all of its original expansions, as well as the brand new Nimone expansion. I want to sleep too. I want to sleep. I always want to sleep. Originally published in 2014 by Come On. Yeah, I bet you do, Mamzelle, with the headache and everything. I'm sorry. Rivet Wars combined World War I style fighting with chibi aesthetics. The game was originally designed by Ted Terranova, a video game designer responsible for Rise of Nations, Age of Empires 3, and Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. Rivet Wars was inspired by real-time strategy games and focused on players continuously collecting resources and deploying new units to try and stay ahead of their opponents. Several expansions for Rivet Wars were released, adding heavy artillery, aircraft, and even mech-inspired combat armor. The Kickstarter includes two main pledges, a core pledge that includes the updated core box, and Vanguard's expansion, and a Veterans expansion that includes all the updated content without the need to repurchase any of the original game component. Backers can also choose the all-in option that includes all the original content along with the new expansion. As of press time, the Kickstarter had already raised over $150,000, which far exceeds its initial $57,000 goal. The Kickstarter campaign is a shorter one and will only remain open through September 16th. Okay, if you guys are interested, I'll throw this in chat real quick. Here you go. New Xbox Game Pass titles for console, PC, and cloud have been confirmed. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is some new stuff here. Check this out. September's lineup includes Disney Dreamlight Valley, You Suck at Parking, and Metal Hellsinger. Here we go. Disney's Dreamlight Valley Founders Edition, Opus Magnum PC, and Train Sim World 3 joined the service today. This was probably yesterday. Yeah. They'll be followed by Ashes of Singularity, Escalation, and DC League of Super Pets, The Adventures of Crypto and Ace on September 13th. You Suck at Parking will hit Game Pass on September 14th, ahead of Despo's Game and Metal Hellsinger on September 15th. Grid Legends also joined Xbox Game Pass and EA Play earlier this month. The following titles, which Gamer just talked about, will be leaving Xbox Game Pass on September 15th. A Plague Tale Innocence leading the way here. As well as Origami 2, Bug Fables, Craftopia, Final Fantasy 13, Flynn, Son of Crimson, I Am Fish, Lost Worlds Beyond the Page, Mighty Goose, Skatebird, The Artful Escape. Microsoft also confirmed last week that it intends to bring Activision Blizzard's leading franchises to Xbox Game Pass should the company's merger go ahead, including Call of Duty, Diablo, and Overwatch. We've also been keeping tabs on this. Where did it just roll this out at? Oh, dude. What was it, like Ireland and maybe Brazil or something like that as the test bed? It also officially announced the Xbox Game Pass Friends and Family Plan. It's been testing for the past month, which is currently available with players in Ireland and Colombia. Ireland and Colombia. But they are slated to start rolling out the Xbox Game Pass Friends and Family Plan through the rest of the world fairly quickly here. And this is a really good deal, actually. If they keep it at the price point it's at right now, it's like a really, really solid deal. Whether it be for your friends or family members, you get 5 people in on this Friends and Family Plan. Even if you only have 4, to pay for 5, the family plan, you got 1 slot that you don't use currently, it's still a better price. But if you guys need more info regarding all of this, here you go. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 news teased by Insider. A notable video game industry insider has teased that Nintendo might soon have more to share about its highly anticipated game, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, originally planned to release on Nintendo Switch this year. Nintendo ended up delaying the Breath of the Wild sequel in the early months of 2022 to an undetermined date next year. While we haven't heard anything official about the project since this delay announcement, sounds like this ongoing silence could soon be coming to an end. Speaking on the latest episode of the Nintendo Shack podcast, gaming industry reporter Jeff Grubb shared more details about what he has heard in regard to Nintendo's next Direct presentation. Previously, Grubb stated that Nintendo should be holding a new Direct at some point in September, along with everybody else, and would likely make some announcements tied to the Legend of Zelda franchise at this time. While it was said that these reveals would likely be tied to new Switch ports of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, Grubb has also shared that Nintendo will likely have an update to share related to Breath of the Wild 2. Although it's uncertain how much of Breath of the Wild 2 Nintendo might opt to reveal, Grubb went on to say that it has been suggested to him that the game's formal name will finally be unveiled. While many fans have simply chosen to refer to the game as Breath of the Wild 2 since it was first announced in 2019, Nintendo has always been very clear that the Switch sequel will have a new title that doesn't feature the name convention from the previous game. However, Nintendo has also said that this title contains spoilers for the events of the game, which is why it hasn't announced the name just yet. It's important to stress with this whole situation that Grubb has even expressed that he doesn't know exactly what Nintendo has planned to show at its next Direct. As such, there's always the chance that new information related to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 might not appear whatsoever. With this in mind, be sure to temper your expectations and take this report with a grain of salt until we hear more directly from Nintendo. Okay. I feel like this is definitely one of those titles that is just going to kind of be real hush-hush until it's not. You know? You're not going to get much leak on this. There's going to be speculation at best until Nintendo finally goes, okay, let's announce some stuff. But we'll keep paying attention. We'll get it when we get it, I guess. Multiverse's Gizmo release date delayed. In case you somehow missed it, the popular free-to-play platform brawler Multiverses from developer Player First Games and Warner Brothers Games revealed a bit of a surprise last week when it shared that Gizmo from Gremlins would be joining the playable roster. Initially, Gizmo was set to drop today, but the developer ultimately delayed his addition slightly, though not by much. Looks like Gizmo is a bit camera shy, the official Multiverses Twitter account shared late last week. We're going to need a few more days to coerce him out of his box. He'll now be joining the roster on Thursday, 9/8, so tomorrow. You can check out the tweet as well as a tease at what Gizmo looks like in the video game embedded below. Looks like Gizmo, yeah. So cute. Nice. Gizmo makes for an interesting addition because Stripe, the antagonist of Gremlins, was first revealed as a Season 1 character previously. Despite the fact that both characters might be very similar, Player First Games has been clear since the Gizmo reveal that they will be separate iconic fighters joining the roster. What that actually looks like in practice remains to be seen. The given difference is cute and cuddly or scaly and chaotic. Or scaly and cuddly. What? Come on. As noted above, Gizmo is now set to join the playable Multiverses roster on Thursday, September 8th. In general, Multiverses is currently available in open beta on the PS5 and 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One and PC, with Season 1 already in full swing. Free to play, 2v2 team fights, and full cross-play support. Alright? There we go. Gizmo and Spike coming our way. Upcoming Nintendo Switch games and accessories for September and October. Let's take a quick look. So, yesterday, Tim released. 2 days from now, Splatoon 3. On the 30th, FIFA 23. 20th of October, Mario and the Rabbids Sparks of Hope. 28th of October, Bayonetta 3. More upcoming games in September and October. Fist looks cool. Mozart Requiem, don't know about that. Road Redemption. This looks like Road Rash, old Road Rash game. Wild. White Day, don't know what that is. Airport Hero. Oh, this is the remake. This is an old, like, early 2000s game, I think. 13. Dungeons 3, Dragon Quest 10, offline. Fairy Fencer F, Pretty Girls Game Collection 2, Trash Sailors, Amnesia Day 1 Edition Dual Pack, or Amnesia Later Crowd, Memories Day, Dialfield Chronicle on 22 September, Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythm Festival on 22 September. Pipe Fior, $80? Oh, that's the limited edition. 22 September. There's lots of stuff coming. I'll let you guys look at the rest of it. Look at this. Look at all this. Woo! That's crazy. Lots of stuff. There you go. Take a look if you're interested in some Switch stuff, games, and accessories. Rockstar Games update seemingly teases end of GTA 5. A recent move from Rockstar Games may have just indicated that the work on Grand Theft Auto 5 is finally coming to a close. First released all the way back in 2013, Rockstar has continued to support GTA 5 for the better part of the past decade. This support has largely come in the form of additional content for GTA Online to go along with various ports of the game for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X. With the arrival of Grand Theft Auto 6 now on the horizon, though, looks like Rockstar is finally putting the most recent entry in the series in the rearview mirror. Within the past week, Rockstar posted a vast new thank you page on its website to name all of the various team members at the studio that worked on GTA 5 in some capacity over the past decade. The page largely just lists alphabetically all of the people who assisted with the project, which, as you can imagine, results in thousands of folks being mentioned. While this new page on Rockstar's website might not mean a lot at face value, the fact that it has come about at this point in time suggests that the studio is truly preparing to move on from GTA 5. As mentioned, we already know that Rockstar Games is currently developing the next entry in the Grand Theft Auto series. While details on that project are still scarce, it seems clear that much of the studio is finally turning the page and is moving away from GTA 5. Even though GTA Online will surely continue to be updated for this foreseeable future, it's apparent that Rockstar is now looking to close the book when it comes to the latest Grand Theft Auto game. Yeah, it was inevitable, right? Inevitable. And, again, GTA 6 is highly anticipated, and due to that, we keep getting a lot of kind of just speculation types of news articles that pop up in our search during our own news segments, video gaming news segments, right? And so, until I'm not diving into any more of the speculation regarding GTA 6. I've said that before. I'm sticking to it. I am not about looking into the speculation anymore regarding GTA 6. And I will absolutely dive into anything article-wise that looks like it has any kind of substance, anything that appears to be substantial for the game in its development, what we are going to see within it moving forward. But things that just tend to be kinds of information people are throwing out there saying this might be what we're going to see in the game, and you're going to want to take this with a grain of salt. I'm not doing that. I'm not diving into that kind of information anymore. Here you go, guys. Random vote time. Oh, man, we got that transgender pride. Let's go. Torchlight Infinite playtest now available on Steam. Get your random votes in there. Try to get you a free sub, guys. Playtesting for Torchlight Infinite is finally available for players who want to try the game out. Whether or not it will live up to the expectations of the fans, though, is a whole other story. Read on for everything you need to know about Torchlight Infinite playtest and how to be a part of it. Let's watch this trailer real quick. Is it just me, or does this art style very closely resemble League of Legends stuff? Might just be the top-down perspective, but the art style to me seems very, very similar. Okay. Okay. Players who are curious about the game can sign up for a playtest on Steam and Android. The actual Android release, however, has a separate store listing for pre-registration. The Steam version of the game is around 9 gigs. The game is said to release on, that's 9 gigabytes. The game is said to release on October 2022 in October of this year. No set date for when the playtesting will end, so if you want to try it, now would be the time. Torchlight Infinite background. Latest entry in the well-loved action role-playing game franchise, Torchlight, has made 3 games so far, with the original in 2009, Torchlight 2 in 2012, and Torchlight 3 in 2020. While the first 2 games of the series are loved by fans and critics alike, the same isn't true for Torchlight 3. Originally designed to be an MMO, fans were disappointed when it became a single-player game. 2 years after that release, Torchlight Infinite was announced, and from the looks of it, it is very different from the previous 3 games, but not all in a good way. Infinite is slated to be a free-to-play and loot-based, very similar to the already released Diablo Immortal. Players are expected to grind for loot and power themselves up with them. As it is a free-to-play game and one with a mobile port at that, the game also has microtransactions. Be a first in the Torchlight line of games, as in the previous games, microtransactions are nowhere to be seen. Players are able to experience everything the game has to offer without paying extra. We'll see about that. It would appear, however, that is no longer the case in Torchlight Infinite. As this Reddit post points out, microtransactions in the game are not for purely cosmetic purposes, as the creators of the game would have you believe. Class traits, pet, gotcha, and even the auto loot feature that is implemented in all Torchlight games are now hidden behind a paywall. Although the game is supposedly not pay to win, we can't truly tell until the game is fully released. You can already tell there's, if this is true, class traits, pet, gotcha, and even auto loot, there is some significant quality of life stuff that is definitely pay hidden there. Paywalled. Yep. So feels bad. Again, free-to-play games need to make money somehow, but there's a good and a bad way to do it, as far as I'm concerned. And I think as far as a lot of other gamers feel, there's a good and bad way to do it. right now it doesn't seem like they're on the right track, but we'll see. Still Rise to review. While it took a moment for them to do so, developers Spiders finally captured my attention when they released Greedfall. That was one of my most underrated titles in 2019, and it's still one I can go back to after the PS5 upgrade. The reason it grabbed me, a captivating and original setting, taking a colonial world and injecting some intriguing fantasy and astonishing creatures into it. Sure, there was plenty of what the kids call Eurojank to it, and some of the repetition, especially the same throne room in each leader location, could get old, but it was fun to play with a riveting narrative and environment. Now we come to the latest game from Spiders, Still Rising. Team has yet again outdone themselves in finding an original setting and premise, but I was surprised by my first experience with the game. When trying out Still Rising in a closed test, I was somewhat taken aback to find out it was a Souls-like game, punishing your missteps and rewarding your patient observations. Can I possibly connect with this one given my low enthusiasm for Soul-likes? Let's watch this. Dude, this is 40 minutes? No. You play as Aegis, a dancer, automat, steampunk robot, in the Queen's Court. For some reason, you're protecting her, and for some reason, you can also speak in synth, along with having a bit of free will. Aegis does have one overriding directive, though: obey whatever the Queen commands. That comes into play almost right away, with Her Majesty fearing what the King has planned by his deadly automat army, in the middle of a revolution. Nice sight. Nice, buddy. She tells you to find your creator, the creator of all automats, Monsieur de Vaucanson, and convince him to undo what he has done for the king. Being the loyal bodyguard you are, it's right into the fray for you, heading into an alternate history take on French Revolution Paris. This is where Still Rising is at its strongest, with Spiders again hitting on a phenomenal setting, where Greedfall was a journey into the new world. Adventuring through forests and fields, Still Rising takes you down bloody cobblestone streets, strewn with broken bodies and cracked machinery. It's so different in so many ways than its predecessor, yet possesses the same soul that Greedfall does. I've thrown out It Feels Alive in several recent reviews, and Still Rising meets that assessment, which is funny given its subject matter. Paris is a beautiful city, but unfortunately, there won't be any fighting at the Eiffel Tower. That would be because it wasn't constructed until 1887. Don't be too sad, though. You'll get to enjoy at least one big landmark by going through sections of the Louvre, the famous art museum. Most of the game is stunning, with some great places to explore, especially Versailles. That can make you forget this is a AA game. Spiders are certainly punching above their weight here. Okay. The only areas I wasn't thrilled with were the darker night ones. They're still pretty cool to look at and fun to traverse, but without a map to go by, you tend to get stuck at some places. Not to mention some of the colors are so drab they can make it easy for a hidden enemy to smack you in the back of the head, even miss what's in front of you due to the lack of lighting. In Still Rising, everything follows a more traditional action-adventure game structure with main missions you follow. There are even plenty of cutscenes and side missions that lead to decisions you'll make that influence the ending. Cool. Shockingly, you even get a lot of character development through freeing several side characters during your main mission. Liberating these humans isn't easy given the echoes, personal effects they've dropped. You must find them... You must find to set them free after the main boss fights can be hidden, and backtracking to find them can be a pain. That being said, it's completely worth it. With each one, I've managed to help adding a lot to the story through corresponding side missions, although they certainly don't add to the prettiness of the game with their weird-looking character models and questionable facial animations. Ooh, creepy. No spoilers, but Aegis herself even gets some moments to shine, with her background being fully realized at the end of the game in a beautiful reveal. All tied together so well you'd almost forget you were in a Souls-like, if not for the back-breaking combat interactions. Even a journal and markers on your HUD make it easy to track where you need to go next, which isn't the usual for something Soulsy. Very Souls-like combat. Enemies are another highlight. Bring a bunch of really cool looking and intricate machines looking to put you down. Foes can be snuck up on, similar to the backstabbing you find in FromSoft games, but in combat you won't find these moments. Replacing them are staggers, with the lock-on diamond also functioning as a meter to let you know how much longer you've got to land a big hit without being worried about being brained by a wayward swing. Speaking of enemy attacks, just like a Souls game, these will follow patterns. So paying close attention to how particular automat fights before you charge headlong into a battle is a good idea. A lot of different tools available to help you fight back against the robot baddies. Spiders has your regular RPG tree in place. Things like your power, agility, and resistances to level up. Functions like a Souls game, leveling an overall tree that lifts several stats. Also modules, think perks, that give you extra passive boosts like doing more damage when low on health, doubling your stagger time. These systems are so straightforward to what you know. It's honestly one of the more boring parts of the game. They are there and doing what they should, but nothing remarkable about these systems. That's not necessarily bad. What is remarkable are the weapons, and those feel like pieces of art. You'll start off with several choices at the beginning. Your decision boils down to the style you want to play. For example, a bigger mallet being slower than the metal fans. Personally, I went with the fans, which are quite visceral. The reason these are bits of art are because they are literally built into Agus's body. Cool. Meaning every attack is an extension of her movement. Also really like the special moves each one has, with the fans billowing into a shield, or I believe it's called fire volley, launching a near fireworks show. This isn't even including new weapons you can pick up as the game progresses, or all of the elemental abilities, which some weapons have or are available as grenades. These elements can certainly come in handy, like frost, which can freeze an enemy in place for a few critical seconds. Want to give a standing ovation, lastly, to spiders for the assist mode. This is one of my favorite features of Still Rising. Should be incorporated into every Souls-like. Essentially, the team didn't want to make an easy mode, electing instead to make sliders to allow you to adjust certain aspects of the experience, like damage taken or how quickly your stamina recharges. These work to not only make the game more approachable, but more accessible, with even the option to turn off damage completely. You do lose some difficulty-based achievements or trophies, but opening the game up so more people can experience it is a fantastic choice in design. Taking advantage of it helped me to adjust to how the game plays, with the ability to turn it back up once I'd acclimated. It's just awesome, and I'm glad Spiders thought of it. Okay. Huh. Still Rising, huh? Is that on Steam? It is, right? Comes out tomorrow. Tomorrow. You know what this gives me vibes of? The Lies of P game that I've been anticipating. You know, the story of Pinocchio and everything. Very steampunk. Very dark. Looks good. I liked the review. The review we just read was nice. I mean, they hit on what the author felt. Again, you know, I'm. This is what I always want to see from a review. It's the same thing that I try to do myself. Try to really hit on what you found to be both positives and negatives within an experience of playing a game, and it seems like they really tried to do that. So I really liked that article, and kudos to them. I feel like they did a really good job. Who was this individual? David Burdett. Kudos to you, David Burdett. I like that. Very nice in-depth review there. giving us a good look at what we, at least what we could potentially expect to experience in the game as far as what they found to be positives and negatives within the game experience. It's good. I like it. Great job. I'm actually going to wish list that. Ubisoft shares slide after Tencent increases stake in gaming player. Shares in Ubisoft dipped sharply on Wednesday after China's Tencent agreed to raise its stake in the video game maker through a deal that values the French company at more than 10 billion euros. The transaction will see Tencent enter a shareholder pact with the Guillemot Brothers Limited, the shareholding vehicle for Ubisoft's founders. Tech giant will acquire a 49.9% stake in the Guillemot Brothers Limited for 300 million euros, along with 5% voting rights, although it will not be represented on its board. Tencent will also have the option to increase its holding in Ubisoft to 9.99% from 4.5%, but will be unable to sell its shares in the creator of big-name titles like Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs for 5 years. It is blocked from further raising its stake for 8 years as well. The move carries an implied valuation for Ubisoft of 80 euros per share, well above the company's closing share price on Tuesday of, dude, that's almost double. The closing share price on Tuesday was 43.50 euros. That would mean the company is valued at over 10 billion euros. In addition, Tencent will give Guillemot Brothers Limited a long-term unsecured loan to help it refinance its debt and boost finances that can be used to buy further Ubisoft shares. The expansion of the concert with Tencent further reinforces Ubisoft's core shareholding around its founders, provides the company with the stability essential for its long-term development, said Ubisoft's chief executive officer and co-founder Yves Guillemot in a statement. Meanwhile, Tencent president Martin Lau said the firm was excited to bring Ubisoft's top franchises to the lucrative mobile gaming market. Hong Kong listed shares in Tencent declined slightly on Wednesday. As one of the few remaining big independent video game makers, Ubisoft has also reportedly become a target for a possible takeover. The group's recent performance has been marred by delayed releases and sexual harassment allegations that have led to an overhaul of its executive leadership. However, analysts at Cohen said the agreement between Tencent and Guillemot Brothers Limited means that a full sale of Ubisoft to a strategic or financial buyer is now unlikely. They added that while the deal should be seen as a net negative for Ubisoft shares, it is not for the company itself. Wow. There we go. More of the acquisitions and buy-ins, man. Ubisoft acquires 700 plus games in game library, including new upcoming titles from Metaba and Fulcrum Publishing. Ubisoft, a world-leading cloud gaming solution provider, announced its collaboration with Metaba and Fulcrum Publishing in cloud gaming. Ubisoft will soon offer attractive titles such as King's Bounty, Magical Drop 2, Mr. Ninja Jaja Maru on Ubisoft partners cloud gaming platforms. Ubisoft partners with telecom and cable operators in Japan, Korea, Italy, Hong Kong, and Taiwan to offer cloud gaming service to their users. In addition to advanced and cost-competitive technology, Ubisoft has created more than 700 titles in its game library, with the most AAA cloud game titles and a wide range of genres and representations to attract users from all walks of life. With more than 50 arcade and PC games from Metaba and Fulcrum Publishing, Ubisoft's game library now with more than 700 games should be even more pleasing to gamers who have played or heard of these games but don't have the means to play these games nowadays. With its cloud gaming technology, players can play these classic games not just on its traditional PC platforms. You can enjoy these games on PC, mobile devices, set-top box, or smart TV. Ubisoft will continue to work with independent and established game development studios to bolster the variety of games in the library. About Metaba, in addition to operating AU-related services such as KDDI Corporation's AU SmartPass, they develop services in a broad range of fields, provide services for creating environments in which users can access information when they need it via the internet. About Fulcrum. Fulcrum is a global games publisher with a diverse portfolio of titles that includes both in-house and independent productions. Fulcrum Publishing has successfully launched over 100 game titles, including a critically acclaimed series King's Bounty, Men of War, and Space Rangers. Recent releases include such games as Ancestors Legacy, Deep Sky Derelicts, Fell Seal Arbiter's Mark, Forgive Me Father, and more. About Ubisoft. Ubisoft operates the world's best GPU virtualization technology and cloud streaming platform and is dedicated to providing a superior user experience via its advanced technology. As long as users are connected to a broadband network, they can enjoy AAA gaming experience across various devices such as smartphones, tablets, game consoles, smart TVs, and personal computers. With innovative game cloud technology, Ubisoft is able to stream interactive media content with immersive experience on multi-devices for platform operators and digital content developers to accelerate metaverse popularization with broad applications. The fact that this is a platform within this locale, we're talking like part of Europe and Asia, mostly Asia and part of Europe. I think that's why I'm not familiar, but which makes it hard for me to discern, whether this is like promotional or if this is actually a true statement here in regards to how, prominent of a business or platform this is. But either way, I guess it's good to be familiar with these names moving forward, just in case. We'll see. After endless delays and empty words, Dispatch Games is seemingly dead. In what can only be described as a veritable disaster, the sorry state of limited print company Dispatch Games has apparently reached its sad and inevitable conclusion. As highlighted by Seafoam Gaming, who has been keeping a watchful eye on the sorry situation, posting from Tennessee State indicated that Dispatch Games is no more. The customers waiting for deliveries of physical games like Game Tengoku, Radargy Swag, and Rail Sim simply won't get the games they paid for, despite Dispatch's reassurances most recently back in June. Let's recap. Back in 2020, we ran a feature on Dispatch Games' inability to fulfill pre-orders for its games and the apparent lack of communication with customers that followed. Social media and direct contact channels were met with utter silence from the company. Fans were understandably getting mighty frustrated with the situation. In the time since, Dispatch Games has made multiple attempts to effectively reboot its operations, going so far as to dramatically proclaim a new day, quote, in a Twitter post that has now, of course, been deleted, along with nearly all of its prior communication. The company did promise to send out digital codes to those waiting on pre-orders of Game Tengoku, and it does seem that some people at least did receive these as planned. Now, however, it looks like Dispatch Games has ceased to exist altogether, having been labeled inactive via the Tennessee State website as of August 9th, 2022, due to the company's failure to pay administrative fees. This follows a similar move by the California State back in October, which similarly labeled Dispatch Games as suspended. While the company may yet exist in some minor capacity, all signs indicate that it has effectively ceased operation and is now a defunct entity. So what does this mean for customers waiting for pre-orders or refunds? Unfortunately, chances are they probably won't be getting either. We've reached out to Dispatch Games for comment on the matter. We'll update this article with any response or useful information, but given the company has once again been radio silent since at least June, following repeated instances of promises followed by long periods of nothing, we're not hopeful. Yeah. All right. Feels bad. Feels bad. Yeah, okay. We're gonna take a quick look here at this Assassin's Creed info. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on either of these. These are both about Assassin's Creed. We've got an Ubisoft Forward showcase happening in 3 days? Yeah, and I'm sure we'll get everything we need to know from that showcase. So we'll take a look real quick at what we need here, and then we'll move on. Ubisoft set to announce several new Assassin's Creed games. Shut your mouth. Ubisoft will announce several new games in the Assassin's Creed franchise Saturday, including one set in feudal Japan, according to media reports of people familiar with the company's plans. That's going to be different than the new one they've been talking about, Mirage, set in Baghdad. Ubisoft has teased the idea that new titles will be announced at its Ubisoft Forward event on Saturday, which we will watch, saying it will reveal a peek at the future of the franchise. Company plans to showcase a mobile title and 2 major games, said the people who asked not to be named discussing private information. First major game codenamed Red and developed by Ubisoft's Quebec City office, set in Japan. The second major game codenamed Neo or Hex, developed by the Montreal office, set during the later stages of the Holy Roman Empire and revolves around witch trials. Both Red and Neo are part of the Assassin's Creed Infinity, a platform for future games in the series that will contain multiple settings, as Bloomberg reported last year. The 2 games will likely not release until 2024 at the earliest. On Saturday, Ubisoft also plans to show more of Assassin's Creed Mirage, like I just said, announced last week following widespread leaks. Yep, that game codenamed Rift, set in Baghdad during the 800s, was once an expansion for Valhalla before it was converted to a full game. Mirage will veer away from the role-playing game elements established in recent series entries and instead aim to return to the stealth focus of early titles, in which players sneak around to perform assassinations. Yep, I'm not going to dive into this. This is a lot of what we just read, and we're going to get more information on this in the Forward showcase on Saturday, okay? So, not a whole lot of point in us taking more time to dive into what could be from those franchises moving forward until we see what they're going to give us officially on Saturday. CD Projekt Red working on arcade games. CDPR had a lot to announce during their Cyberpunk Edge Runners broadcast, which happened yesterday. I wasn't aware they were doing this until right before it happened, and our buddy Tinwin notified me that he was going to be paying attention to this and give us a little bit of a breakdown of what was to come for Cyberpunk, which we'll take a look at next. But one of the announcements was that they're going to be making a bunch of arcade games. Got more info on what CDPR has been up to. Yes, they're hard at work and trying to make a new DLC a smash hit upon release, as well as working alongside Trigger Studio to make one of the most brutal anime of 2022. Though, can it beat Chainsaw Man? But that's not all. They're also working on arcade and mobile games. During Cyberpunk Edge Runners live stream, CDPR also announced their mobile game endeavors, but worry not. These are small games with no microtransactions, something you don't even hear about anymore these days when it comes to mobile gaming. During this Cyberpunk 2077 stream, a pixel art game by the name of Roach Race, no way, oh no, was announced. This is going to be made available on iOS and Android, and if you've got a copy of Cyberpunk, then you'll even be able to play the game there. Okay, look, here's the deal. If they're making a game called Roach Race, the entire premise of the game is going to be just based around trying to get Roach to continue to run. There's nothing else they need to do but just base this upon what Roach actually was in Witcher 3 and just trying to keep the horse running. That's got to be it. Honestly, the game just looks like a colorful knockoff from the Google Dinosaur game. CDPR also announced there will be more games like this in the future, so be prepared for some more simple arcade games in Cyberpunk 2077. What kind of arcade games are the developers going to come up with next? Okay. Let me see here. Today, CDPR announced via its Night City Wire livestream that Edge Runners, a new game update for Cyberpunk 2077, will be the last major content update for players using last-gen consoles. Tinwin let us know about that yesterday. The news was immediately followed by the reveal of Phantom Liberty, the Cyberpunk 2077 expansion currently slated for release sometime in 2023. The expansion's trailer confirmed that Phantom Library will only be available on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Stadia, and PC. Edge Runners, which is out today, which was yesterday, on all platforms, introduces a number of interesting changes to the game, including the ability to use mirrors, resculpt your character's face, body, and cyberware, and include Nibbles the cat in photo mode. Also adds Roach Race, the first in a series of in-game arcade cabinets. Edge Runners, God, dude, stop. Also launching alongside a Netflix animated series of the same name, which features a story centered on 18-year-old David Martinez, a wannabe edge runner who loses everything but manages to get his hands on some incredibly powerful cyberware in the process. The Edge Runners anime series is heavily influenced by works like Ghost in the Shell and Akira, and though fans won't get their first taste of the TV show until it airs next Tuesday, David Martinez's jacket is available as a clothing item in the game as of today's Edge Runners update. There are several overlaps between the game and the anime, with the game's creators hinting that some Cyberpunk 2077 NPCs may make an appearance in the Netflix show. CDPR also mentioned a new in-game quest that references the events of the anime and confirmed that the anime is canon, taking place at the same time as the events of Cyberpunk 2077. As such, locations from the game can be found in the animated Netflix series, and a multitude of references to the anime will appear in the game once the Edge Runners update is installed. During the live stream, game director Adam Badowski declared that with the addition of Edge Runners, the game can now be fully experienced as intended. So, we are embarking upon 2 years after the release of this game, and the quote from the game director is that now the game can be fully experienced as intended. That sucks. That sucks. So, we're talking 21 months, coming up on 2 years after the game released. And the game director has been quoted as saying, the game can now be, with this latest, with the addition of Edge Runners, the game can now be fully experienced as intended. The industry needs to change in regards to the way these games are being released. The state of these games being released. Why is a game being released in a state not intended? To where the game cannot be fully, it's not able to be experienced as intended. Why is it being released like that? I don't understand. Unfortunately, this announcement comes nearly 2 years after the game's very troubled release, With the Phantom Liberty just on the horizon, there are undoubtedly last-gen console players feeling disappointed. That's especially true given that a complete overhaul of the much maligned police system and improvements to vehicular combat were mentioned as part of a future update, one that apparently won't be released on PS4 and Xbox One. Yeah, that's got to feel bad to previous gen players. If you're worried about losing your save progress by upgrading to a current gen console, CDPR's got you covered. The Edge Runners update is introducing a cross-progress feature that will allow you to pick up where you left off from one platform to another. The Cyberpunk 2077 Edge Runners update launches today, September 6th. You can learn more about what to expect from the Edge Runners update via the patch notes, which are posted in full below. Netflix's Edge Runners animated series goes live on Tuesday, September 13th. So Tuesday of next week. Almost a week from now. Patch notes. So Edge Runners update. This was yesterday. Was live. Various gameplay fixes and improvements, free DLCs, as well as content inspired by Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Anime will premiere on Netflix on September 13th. Wardrobe allows you to change the appearance of your outfit without changing your armor stats. You can create up to 6 outfits using the pieces of clothing you own by accessing the wardrobe in any of these apartments and safe houses, then switch between them in the inventory panel. 3 new gigs. Fixtures will give you 3 new gigs: concrete, cage, trap, new weapons, 6 new firearms, 5 new melee weapons, cross progression. Yep. Cyberpunk Edge Runners content, arcade game roach race, nibbles in photo mode, and then some gameplay adjustments, fixes, weapons, perks, quests, open world, UI, visual, audio, PC specific, console specific, Stadia specific, miscellaneous, and then some stuff for modding the game. All right. I mean, if you're interested, again, I'm glad that they've continued to work on this game and get it to a better state. It was an abysmal, absolutely nightmarish release for the game. It should have never been released when it did. Absolutely not. And then to see obviously, it still feels bad for the people that own it on last-gen consoles. You know, it still feels bad. Because then they're like, well, you know, if you get a new-gen console and you get the game on the new-gen console, then you can transfer everything over. You know, I think that that's just also, again, to see that quote right there is just, oh, it does. Oh, that's cool. Cool. I didn't recall that. Cool. Thanks, Timon. Well, that's great then. Yeah, I mean, if you own it on the previous gen and but that's still it's a big chunk of change for people. A lot of people just don't have that to throw down on a new gen console. So there are going to be a lot of people that don't get to experience the game as it was intended to be experienced. Apparently, you know. So all those people that have previous gen consoles that don't have the means to go out and buy a new gen console, they're just they're never potentially never going to get to experience the game as intended. You know, this quote is just for me. That's rough. Almost 2 years after the release of the game to see this. And again, I mean, I'm glad they continue to work on the game. They've got it in a good state and everything. But ultimately, games should never be released, as far as I'm concerned, in any kind of state other than what the game is supposed to be experienced in a fully as it's fully supposed to. A game is supposed to be fully intended to be experienced in the first place. That's. I mean, are people supposed to be excited about this quote? Are they supposed to be excited about that? That it took 2 years after the release of the game to be like, yeah, now we get to experience the game as it was supposed to be. I don't know. That's weird to me. That's weird. So, I mean, I'm glad they've continued to work on the game and everything, but I don't know. And I think they've made great strides as well with the things that needed to be put into the game. Yeah. Oh, I understand why. Yeah. Yeah, I doubt it too. I doubt it too. Yeah. Yeah. I doubt they didn't know as well. Again, I mean, there's just been such a. And we've seen it happen. And Cyberpunk's not the only, I mean, we're talking about Cyberpunk right now because of this article so they're the focus of what we're talking about, right? But they are absolutely not the only game, and CDPR is not the only developer to do this kind of thing. Absolutely not. And it's, I'm just trying to, I'm always going to try to bring attention to the fact of where this industry should be heading, as opposed to what we've seen be terrible, terrible, terrible mistakes in the past. And so I'm not trying to single out any particular game or developer or anything, because we've seen it happen to numerous, right? We've seen it happen to numerous. And Tim, it's heavily likely it was investors pushing for release. Absolutely. Who knows? Maybe the investors would have been open to waiting. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Who knows what was going on internally? Who knows? There are some that know, but probably not very many. Yeah. But I think that's where communication's key. I think it's important to, be honest with yourself and with others involved in any kind of project, and making sure that there are clear lines of communication both up and down the chain of command, so that there aren't these kinds of situations that happen. Right? Yeah. Right. Yeah. 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 And yeah, I'm sure there are NDAs everywhere, and for those that aren't familiar what an NDA is, non-disclosure agreement, which basically says that you're not allowed to talk about a specific subject or topic or whatever. And if you do, then you can basically you're putting yourself in a position to be very, very, very sued. So yeah, absolutely, Timwin. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are all kinds of different things that went along with it. And again, I mean, we're focusing on Cyberpunk and CDPR right now because this is, the article, but it's happened to many, and I just, because I love the industry, man, and I want to see better. I'm always going to try to advocate for developers to have a better process in mind. Dude, I don't want to see this happen to The Witcher. Oh yeah. NDA can there's all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I mean NDA can also range from on an individual basis all the way through like NDAs for an organization, and so therefore the repercussions of breaking an NDA can vary widely in regards to what has happened as well, and what was the breach of that NDA and things. Yeah, absolutely. Right, absolutely. Yep. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I mean, again, um, I want lessons learned. I don't want, and the thing is, it doesn't have to. I think lessons learned here don't necessarily need to be just like. Obviously, I think if a developer has made mistakes, they absolutely shouldn't be making those mistakes again. But what I would like to happen is to raise awareness. I mean, that's kind of my ploy, my plan. What the reason I talk about this kind of stuff a lot is to raise awareness about what's going on in the industry and what has happened in the past in the history of some of these very, very bad releases in the development process not being fully fleshed out, and a game being very, in a substantially polished state before being released. I want to raise awareness and hopefully, what you would like to see are other developers not having to go through the hard knocks and learn from the mistakes they see other developers make as well. Not necessarily having to learn from their own bad releases, but seeing other developers make these mistakes and go, oh man, we need to avoid doing that same thing ourselves. We need that change to happen in the industry. We need better and just across the board, avoiding this trend. And I think we're working our way there, but the trend definitely for quite a while had gotten to a point where it was very numbers focused, right? It was, and it's business, I understand that, but it was like, here's the date, we've got to meet this date, we've got to get these numbers, it's got to be pushed out, doesn't matter what state it's in, we've got the internet, we can patch it after the fact. That sucks. It's a bad mentality. It sucks for consumers. It makes us feel duped, and I think we're a lot of developers are starting to finally move away from that, but there have been some tough releases that have finally, I think, gotten the ball rolling on developers finally being like, we can't do that anymore, I'm glad that they've stuck with the game. They've gotten it into a good state. It's just terrible to see a statement like this, for 2 years after a game's released. For a game to release and then go, okay, we're almost 2 years after, people can finally experience the game as it was intended to be experienced. That just feels bad. I hate that. I understand being passionate about a game and going, oh man, we've got more that we want to bring to the table, and continuing to provide content, just like The Witcher. I mean, we've got an incredible DLC that we already got through. We've got an even larger DLC expansion, is really what it is that we're working through now. But the base game was great as well. But to not be able to experience the game as it was intended to be experienced on release until 2 years after, feels rough. Yo, Gabs, what's up? So, kudos for continuing to work to make it a good experience, but that's a lot of time after a release, man, to have to wait to experience the game in the way that the devs wanted it to be experienced in the first place. Pretty rough. But I will post this in chat. And Tinwin, thanks for making me aware that all this was happening. I really appreciate it, buddy. That's awesome. This is going to be the last thing we watch for the news segment today. And then we're going to move on to our Witcher content. Day 43. Continue our Blood and Wine stuff. Our Blood and Wine DLC. So this is, shout out again to Tinwin. Thanks, buddy. This is the teaser, the official teaser trailer for the Phantom Liberty stuff that will be coming in 2023. Yeah, this will be the Phantom Liberty content coming in 2023. So we'll watch the teaser trailer for this, and then we will we'll close out the news segment. We'll move on to our gaming. Gabs, how's your day been going?
Repeat after me. I, V, do solemnly swear.
I, V, do solemnly swear
that I shall faithfully serve the new United States of America.
Been slow.
That I shall
I'm
faithfully
good.
serve
I'm good. Thanks
the
for
new
asking.
United States of America.
About to get into some gaming.
On behalf of all Americans, I thank you for your service.
You know, taking that oath. Bad idea.
Nice. Nice. Cool.
Repeat.
Cool. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Timwin. I appreciate it, man. Cool stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're continuing to work on it, and that's what you would hope from a developer. I mean, we've seen games that got super hyped up that have really come to fruition and become the games that they were supposed to be in the first place, like No Man's Sky, and those developers really, they stood behind that game. They haven't charged any extra money for any of the DLC, and that game has become huge. So that's really one of those, those stories of redemption, that you like to see. And at least Cyberpunk has, or CDPR has stuck with the game, and they have gotten it to the place of being a solid piece of software, and to where people can enjoy it after such a terrible release, as opposed to something like Anthem, that EA just dropped, terrible release, and then they were like, we're done. Gotcha. Got your money. And we're not supporting it anymore either, So there's definitely something to be said. Don't get me wrong. A game should never be released in the state that, a game like CDPR or No Man's Sky was released in. But there's something to be said for the developers continuing to work on the games and put them, in a good state, a good polished state. But that's one of those issues that the internet has brought to us as gamers, is that developers have gotten to a point where they feel like we'll get away with it, and instead of the old school mentality of this game needs to be finished and polished before it releases. And that's where I feel like developers need to get back to. So, great news segment. Thank you guys. To everybody that's part of this community and everybody that was part of the news segment today, I appreciate you guys very much. Shout out to Super Donut. Thank you very much for the 2-month resub today, buddy. Thank you very much. To anybody that might be viewing this content on YouTube as a VOD later on, if you're enjoying the content and you wouldn't mind hitting that like and subscribe button for me, I would appreciate it very much. Also, see what you can do about coming and hanging out with myself and the rest of this amazing community when we go live at 6 o'clock a.m. CST every single day. And we start off all of our streams with video gaming news before we head into whatever gaming content we have planned for the day, okay? Other than that, everybody just stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, and we will catch everybody tomorrow for September 8th edition of Video Gaming News. All right?